All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to Whitetail Survival. Tonight, I wanted to go over another survival kit that I picked up. This one is by Best Glide ASE, and this is the Ultimate Adventurer Survival Kit. There's a lot of stuff in this one, so it might take a couple minutes to go through it. So we might as well check this thing out. So let's get into it real quick. So here is this kit, and this is brand new. I picked it up off their website. I will link that website down below. Ultimate Adventurer Survival Kit. So on the back here, there is a list of contents. And this kit is designed to help sustain 1 to 3 people for several days. So might as well get right into this thing. There's just some clear plastic on the outside of it. Put this aside here. And there it is. So these are rubber here. They just roll back, flip down, and you have a large container here. You know, this thing's 6 inches or 15 centimeters, so it's pretty big. I'll just say for the width here, it's about 4 inches or 9 centimeters. So let's open it up here. As you can see on the inside of the lid, there is a rubber gasket there. I've seen people take this gasket out and use this thing as a frying pan. Pretty good idea. And here we go. Some basic survival tips here. And there's some stuff about navigating with a compass. Some shelter stuff. Here's how to use the stars for some navigation. Now if you want to just pause it, I'll open this thing up like I did the last one. You can pause it there and read it if you want. Go over to the back. There's that page. We already seen it. And here is some shelter setups here. And I guess you can see the entire page that way. So other than that, there is the first thing in there. Put that right on top. And on the very top, the first actual item here that you're going to pull out is a medical kit. So we might as well bust that open and go over that. I'll start out with the medication here. And I see a 2-pack of ibuprofen. There's 2 of them. So there is 4 ibuprofen. There is 2 packs of aspirin also, and 2 non-aspirin, and these are acetaminophen. So there you have ibuprofen, acetaminophen, and aspirin. So hit the big main 3 there. Moving on from there. Now, this stuff is so neatly put in there. It's going to be hard to match that. Get it back out. I guess put it back in. So you get a bag. Here we have 1 4x4 inch gauze sponge. There are 2 sting relief. These are like little one-use towelettes. Let's get 2 of them. There are 2 of these Steri-Strip style bandages. It's a piece of this moleskin. So that's actually a pretty big piece. You know, it's nice to cover up blisters and whatnot with that. We got 3 triple antibiotic ointments. So bacitration basically. And 2, 4, 6, 8 of these, you know, like 1 inch wide style band-aids. So they feel like they're pretty good shape. It's not too bad. So that is like your medical portion of this. We're going to slide this over. And here's a good length of paracord. Pull this thing open. We'll get a good judge of how much is here. So we'll just say this mat. So let's go 30. 60. 90. So let's say 120 inches. So there's probably about 10 foot here if this knot wasn't in it. So you got about 10 foot of parachute cord there. And yet another plastic bag. So here is a wire saw. And as you can see, this one is made different from the ones that you get in the cheaper survival kits. It's hard to tell, but this isn't made out of that chain material like the rest of them. This is steel and it has like little barbs on it. And I can feel that thing is, that's real grippy. This will be a neat one to test out when we get around to it. So, wire saw, love or hate, it's in there. Next thing we got here is some brass snare wire. And there's a good bit here. You could do a lot of gear repair with this or set up a couple snares. So here we have 10 of these Tinder Quick tabs. These are pretty self-explanatory. Just fire starters. And the next thing we got here is a beeswax candle. And this should burn for a while. It's pretty neat. So, on to the next thing. We have a sewing kit here. And we will break this out too into individual components. Another plastic bag. These things, we'll do this last. So we have a large needle and 2 pins and a small needle. We have an entire spool of heavy duty thread here. That seems like it's pretty strong stuff. We got 1, 2, 3 large safety pins. And 3 small safety pins. And 2 buttons. Now, this is a needle threader. So if nobody knows how these things work, obviously this big one, you'll be able to do that, no problem. Wow, that tape's actually holding it in there a lot more than what I thought. But basically you have the eye, and you take this bad boy right here, and you slide this through. And what you'll do is take your thread, pull out a bit of it, and that is a lot bigger hole to thread through than that needle has. Then all you do at that point is grab a hold of the needle and pull it back through. And there you have a threaded needle. So I imagine most of the people in my comment section know how that thing works, but hey, I get surprised every once in a while, so that's a pretty cool thing to see. And these are not real heavy duty, but they do work. Okay, that is your sewing kit. Moving on from there, you got an oxygen absorber. And let's go on to this. Here is UCO survival matches. These are stormproof. There's 10 in here and 2 strikers. That's an awesome, easy, convenient way to make a fire there. And the next thing we got, these are Chloroflock. This is water purification powder. And there is a handful of them in here. So we got 10 of them in here. So this is, there's 10 liters of water here. Here's the directions on how to use them. So there is 10 liters of water. And with that big bag over here and the container by itself, you should be, you know, if it's only a half a liter, then you can use half the bag. But there's 10 liters of water right there. And then here is a secondary source of fire. There is a book of matches here. So you got storm matches and a book of matches. And here we have an ASE cube. And these things are awesome. I have a stove here at the house that is made by them. That's what you use. You just light this thing. And it burns for a long time, like 10, 12 minutes, something like that. So you can actually scrape this up a little bit and hit it with a ferro rod, and it will also ignite that way. So you could use this to cook in this tin. So one ASE cube. And the next thing we got here is, so we'd used one of these before. This is an Acme tornado whistle. And these are made in England, and these things are stupid loud. So if you don't like hearing it, I recommend pausing the video or skipping this part. So here's this Acme tornado whistle. These things are super loud. We're going to give it a blow here. That is incredible. This is one of the loudest whistles that I've blown in any of these kits at all. So these things are ridiculous. So here we are. There is that whistle. That is incredible. It's going to be hard to find a whistle that's louder than that. And the next thing we got in here is a kind of a generic multi-tool here, I guess. And I'm guessing this must be branded by them, so must be fairly decent. It kind of has the Best Glide mountains on them. So I mean, they feel good. I don't think they're going to break the first time you use them. Well, I'm actually wrong. I squeezed them and the spring fell out. But I don't think that is going to be a super hard repair. And I fixed it. So that's one of the things with these little, I guess that spring's a little short in mine. I ejected it out again, but not too concerned about it. That's not a super huge ordeal. Most of my Leatherman pliers don't have a spring in it anyway, but it's kind of a crazy thing. I opened multi-tool and the spring flew out, but like I said, it doesn't feel like I could break it that easy. So you do get a wire cutter. Pliers, needle nose pliers. Let's open it up to see what's onto the inside. And Maybe the nail nicks are a little low. So there is a, do this side first. So we have a nail file, a cross-cut file, and a straight cut file. Oh no, it's a cross-cut on both sides. So got a double cross-cut and a nail cleaner. Here we have two tapered flathead screwdrivers. Got a real small and then like a medium size. There you have a knife blade. It's relatively sharp. We'll hit the other side up. See what we got there. So here we have like a serrated blade. I don't think it's a saw, the way it's shaped. You might be able to saw with it, but I'm thinking that's a serrated blade. Next thing we got there is a like Phillips #1 size Phillips head. This is a awl. And that's relatively dull. That's not going to cut you. But you should be able to poke through plastic or something with it. The very last thing, we have a larger flat head and a bottle opener. This is one thing in this kit that I would recommend them to upgrade for what you pay for this kit. You could do something a little bit more substantial. Maybe not this big. Even a Gerber dime, I'd be a little bit more satisfied with than this. My spring flew out of it immediately. But moving on from there, I'll grab this out. We got two zip ties, cable ties, whatever you want to call them. That's good in a pinch. And here is a big, beefy ferrocerium rod. So it's got a grip on it. And the striker is here. It's got like a partially serrated striker. And this side is definitely the side you're supposed to strike off of. I can feel the whole thing is rounded off this way. So I bet you that thing will throw some sparks. That is a big ferrocerium rod there. Okay, got a couple feet of duct tape here. That's good, and they have one corner rolled over, so it's easy to get to. That is a fire starter or gear repair or hundreds of uses for duct tape. Next thing we pull out here, we got a fishing kit. It has a lead warning on it. Thank you, California. And do not eat these. This is another oxygen absorber. And here we have a piece of what feels like carbon fiber. And it is completely wrapped up with fishing line. There's a lot here. They have it held on with this couple rubber bands here. And that's all monofilament. Here's the end. Just unwrap it and go. And in its own separate baggie here, we have a soft plastic, white. You can see this in any color of water, murky or not. It's a neat color to put in there. And here for the rest of the stuff in the fishing kit, we have 3 of these larger hooks. Now this is like a, I guess there is 2 of these large hooks. This is like a size hook that I would fish for bass. Just on the beginning territory of what I would use for catfish. Then there is 2 of this next size hook down. It's like a medium-sized hook. These could be used for bass too, not a big deal. You can use pretty much any size hook on them. And then, oh, I just threw one. Then we have 2 of these smaller sized hooks, so that'll catch you anything else. And then beyond that, we have 1 large split shot and 2 small ones. These are lead, so That's where your warning came from. So 3 sinkers, a couple hooks, and a soft plastic, some line. The next thing we got here is a emergency space blanket, and it is their own branded. And this one is orange, and it is the Mylar color and the orange. So there are some directions there if you can see on how to use this. If I can get it to focus there. You can use this to protect yourself from the sun or from the cold. So that's a good thing to see. That is a super important part of the kit, staying warm or staying cold. That will kill you real fast. And the next thing, we have a Dermasafe, and it is a Dermasafe branded razor knife. These things are awesome. They are incredibly sharp. If you do catch a fish, this can be used to process it, at least gut it to get it on the fire. Which is awesome. Next thing, we have a number 2 pencil, and it's not a real small piece, you know, it's like 3 inches long. So for writing, leaving notes, whatever, that'll work. And here it looks like a piece of microfiber cloth. If I had to guess, there's probably a signal mirror in here. It feels heavy. So that's exactly what this is, a piece of microfiber cloth. And I'm running out of room here. So there it is. Emergency signal mirror. And there's how to use it. And this one has an aiming hole, so that's pretty awesome. Little lanyard hole. We'll put that up there. Save a little space. And here's the next thing. There is some writing on here. Check that out. And this is a magnifying glass, basically. So this is a fire starter, or if you just need to see. That is a good instrument there for if you cannot see anymore, or this is also a fire starting method. So nice to have a magnifying glass like that too. So there is another source of fire if it is sunny. Here is a coffee filter. And these ones are pretty heavy duty for what it is. And this can be used as a pre-filter for your water. And this is just a patch. It's very strong. So it's a strong material. It's like some kind of nylon. And if you need to patch something up, this would work, whether it be pants or if you have a tent or something with you that needs a patch, that would work. And here, this takes out the guesswork with the tin. This is a Whirlpack bag, and these are 1 liter. So gusseted to stand up, and they are sealed. These things are sterile when you get them, so that's a plus. And I think there's just one there. Yep, just a... We're going to check it anyway, but... Yeah, just a single, so... These things are awesome. I put these in my own kits. I'm going to have to add some room here. So there's a Whirlpack bag. We're getting down to the bottom. So here's a giant chunk of aluminum foil. So that is big. I'm not going to unfold it the whole way, but you know, I bet you that's 2 foot by 2 foot square at least. So it's a big chunk of tin foil. Another way to boil water or just to cook. Here we have a few sheets of Write in the Rain paper for a pencil, which is awesome. You can write with this thing in the rain, snow, doesn't matter. It's just lines with the dotted grids, which is okay. You always have some information on what else you can get through them on here. Measurements on the back. These things are awesome. And then the final thing that's in this tin here is this compass, and it does the same thing that all the other ones do down here. So other than that, here's this empty tin, and like I said, this is a large tin. You're probably not gonna be putting this in your pocket, but this is the lid here. Now, the only thing I don't see in here is a way of lighting. This candle can be used for light, but there's no flashlight in here. There must be one more kit above this one. Maybe there is, that has a light or something in it, but I'll look into that, and I'll put the Best Glide website down in the description box below. But this is the Best Glide ASE Ultimate Adventure Survival Kit. As I said, I'll link the Best Glide website. They have a pile on there. They have a bunch of different survival kits and different survival items on there. So that's a pretty cool thing to see. This is a big kit, not a cargo pocket kit. You'd have to have a pretty big set of pockets for this thing to fit in there. So other than that, this would be good to toss into a backpack. And there's a lot of good stuff in here. There's a couple things missing that I would probably add. I would probably replace this with a larger tool, you know. Even like a Leatherman Wingman would go in there. This would work in a pinch if you just needed it. But this and a flashlight, that's two very, very big important things for me. I like to have a source of artificial light when I'm out there. Other than that, this has been the Best Glide ASE Ultimate Adventure Survival Kit. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will catch you on the next one.